Hello, this is Mark. Welcome. Today I'm having tea with Kim. Kim, you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Galloway Gordon, and I'm an intuitive medium and a certified angel card reader.
Before we went live, you're actually explaining to us about your gifts. You want to elaborate more into that?
Yes, I've always had spiritual gifts. When I was a little girl, I would see things on my walls and I would feel like people were around me, but I got really scared and I kind of turned it off. I wasn't sure how to cultivate them. And before my father passed, I was getting images and I was getting feelings like he was going to pass, and he did. And so after that, I started to develop my gifts more. I became more interested in metaphysics. I became certified as an angel card reader. And then I learned that I could actually channel the angels' messages and give them to my clients, as well as channel deceased loved ones when they're wanting to speak to their loved ones as well. So that's what I do.
Today's show, you actually will be giving a live reading to someone that volunteered to do this reading. And this person is someone that I work with. Her name is Jamie. And we're going to bring her on to the show right now. So Jamie, you want to come in?
What I do is I channel angels, and sometimes deceased loved ones will come through. What I typically do, I will hold your hands and kind of pray over you and just kind of ask for the guidance that's given to you. The angel guidance that's given, it's basically to move you closer to one, your soul's purpose, and two, to become more abundant and peaceful and joyous and love in your life. So that's what they're leading us towards. So I'm going to hold your hands.
Okay.
I'm just going to, can you say your name for me out loud, please?
Jamie.
And I'll always ask people, do you have specific questions? No,
I don't really have a specific question. I guess just sort of things that a lot of people want to know about romance, about career, things like that, family.
Okay, so we're going to do a general reading, and whatever comes up will come up, and I'll just share whatever I get. I use the angel tarot cards, and I also use other angel oracle cards. That's kind of what I'm going to be using today. So. So the first card that I received was the moon from Archangel Heniel. And Archangel Heniel is the archangel of your spiritual gifts. Okay. You also have spiritual gifts that you also have not cultivated. And I believe since you've had them from a little girl as well. And your gifts have to do with your intuition. You have really strong intuition about people. It's just sometimes you don't always listen to it because you think it's you. You think that there's something wrong with you, or that you're crazy in what you're thinking, or whatever happens, but really it's your intuition and your gut feeling that makes you right about a person. That's really important for you to take with you moving forward, because that is really going to help you know what people's intentions are when you go into a new relationship. Okay. Because I feel like in the past in your relationships, I feel like you've always taken on like their energy or their wants and needs like they were your own. And sometimes the red flags would come up and then you think it was you.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would just want you to be aware that your intuition is stronger than you even know. Okay. And in time, if you want to explore them or want to develop your gifts more, you can. Okay. I feel like you're going to be promoted soon, or going to be promoted into a new position or a new job. Or you want one in the future. But I feel sometimes the fears kind of hold you back, or the negative talk kind of holds you back, or change holds you back, because sometimes you're not very good with change. You like the same routine, you like the same things. It's just, you're just a creature of habit. You like those things. But they're saying that you need to release the fear, because the fear is really holding you back from basically getting moving forward into your dreams. And a good way to do that is through the full moon. We're having a full moon tomorrow, and they say the angels want you to, in the full moon, in the nature, and like to ground yourself, to release everything that's no longer serving you. All the past relationships that you've been in, all the past friendships that are no longer serving you, and just release all the energy so you can move forward. Okay. Because I feel like it's been holding you back. And so you got to clear it all out to welcome anything new in, because it's really exciting. I feel like the new stuff's waiting to come in, but the old stuff has not cleared out yet. Okay, so that's what they're showing me. But you have, and there are events that are moving behind the scenes. Your angels are really I feel like they give you nudges. I feel like they leave you like they give you ideas of what to do. And sometimes you kind of disregard it, disregard it. And then what happens is that it kind of moves you backwards. So they're saying that by releasing all this, it's going to move you forward.
How do you release it?
What you can do is, the way I tell people is that Archangel Michael is the archangel of kind of like removing negative energy. And I use him a lot when I cut cords for energetic people, especially around relationships. I feel like with relationships, when you're intimate with someone or physical with someone, your energies commingle and they don't get separated until you clear it out. So I always ask him to come in and clear out all the energetic energy with past relationships. And just imagine that, because he has a sword, and just imagine the sword is like cutting through all the cords. And during the full moon, you can release it all. You can just release it all, and it'll get released. They said you're very honest. You're a very honest person, and that you are very impulsive. So sometimes you don't always think everything through. You kind of just go and go and go. And sometimes that's not always the best, especially in relationships they're talking to me about. Where you become kind of impulsive with not getting to know someone kind of right away, and then they kind of turning out to be the person you don't want them to be. So they just want you to take your time and finding the relationship. I feel like one's coming to you. It's just, it's going to take a little bit of time because you're clearing out all the old stuff. I also feel like you're a very good communicator, but they say sometimes you can communicate in a little more of a rougher way where it's kind of blunt and to the point. So they just say, just be careful of how you say things and how you go about doing things, because there's such a softness about you that people don't get to see very often. And the softness, I think, is going to move you forward and catapult you even more further. So don't be afraid to let people show you the soft side of Jamie, because it's not a weakness. They said it's not a weakness for them to show the softer part of you. And that's what they're saying. So the delays of having a new relationship come in, it's because the old stuff hasn't cleared out. So they just want you to know that's the reason. And two, they say sometimes you're not ready. They say, I don't know if you tell yourself that 1 minute, okay, I'm ready, and the next minute I'm not ready. Or you kind of step forward and then you're like, okay, maybe not. So with energy, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So you're telling the universe that I'm ready, and then you stop the brakes, and then it's like, okay, well, now I'm not ready. So just open yourself up to it and just trust that, one, they're going to bring the new relationship to you, and two, that you're going to trust your instincts enough and trust yourself that you can see through all of it, and that you'll be able to navigate through it. And that's what they're talking about. They're talking about intimate relationships with you. They do see you getting one probably in the next 6 months. You know, I try not to give too much time frames, because time frames can change based on your free will, the other person's free will. But they say in the next 6 months, I really feel like you're going to be finding this relationship. They see you in really good health. And that you are looking for a good, healthy relationship also. So to keep your intentions very high, and they want you to write down all the things you want in a person, whether it's 5 things, 10 things, 100 things, and then put it under your pillow and sleep on it, because you're going to manifest it. And so when you start dating or when you start seeing people, if they don't match up to your list, you're going to just say next. That's what they want for you to do. And they want you to weigh because I feel like you're going to be dating a couple of people. So they want you to weigh your options carefully and just think it all through, instead of being the impulsive way if you've been in the past. They also talking about communication. You're a very good communicator. But what happens is that when you get into a relationship, because you're an empath, you pick up on other people's feelings, emotions, desires as if they were your own. So what happens is that you take on all their feelings, and so you are tendency the one to give and give and give and give, and then they take and take and take and take, and there's no balance.
So when can I interrupt for a moment? When you're saying this right now, so you had said, so you communicate with angels, so you're hearing these messages, and then you're deciding like how to put them out. So that's where all this is.
Yeah, that's all this. Yes. The way I channel is a lot of it is telepathically. So it's almost like they tell me what to say, and I just say it. And as it's almost like a computer downloading information. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. And so I'm kind of figuring out, okay, how do I say this? How do I go about saying this? What are they saying to me? What are they showing me? And that's kind of what I go with. They also want you to be careful of the negative thoughts. I feel like you dated a lot of snakes, because they're showing me snakes that people may have cheated on you or have not treated you right. So they're wanting you to, one, know that it wasn't all you.
Okay.
And because I feel like they made you either feel like that, like it was your fault or something were to happen. And two, that you have great intuition to not be with the snake again.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what they're showing me. Archangel Raphael is the archangel of healing and the archangel of helping you find your soulmate. Okay. So that's why he's showing up today, is because that's what you're looking for, your soulmate. Yeah. And what they're saying is that you can't have soulmate made up of different people. You know, if you've been in relationships where you've liked something about one person and not about the other, you can't make one person out of different people. So that's why they're wanting you to cut all the cords from the past. So I don't know if you have someone still trying to get in with you, or a relationship that has off and on.
I mean, I think I have something that I definitely have not let go.
Okay.
It's not a relationship now. Okay. But internally, it's something that
because I feel like it's something that you're holding on to. So that's why they're suggesting that you do that.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
They also say that you're very hard on yourself, that you're very judgment about yourself. You have a lot of judgment about yourself, about the way you look, about the way you talk, about what you say. And it's almost, it overwhelms you sometimes. And they're talking about needing to take more time out for yourself, you know, and to slow down, because you go and 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 you go, and then you don't necessarily take some time out for yourself and slow down. So they say there's a lot going on right now for you, and that you just need to take some more time just to kind of breathe and just to get time for yourself. And also to consider a more playful approach with yourself, because you're so hard on yourself. They say the need to be perfect all the time, that creates more anxiety, and that just to be you. You can just be who you are, and that people are going to be drawn to that. I also feel there's a mother energy here. So I don't know if you lost your mother or your grandmother, but they're very present.
I mean, my grandmother, but it was years ago. I mean, sadly, I don't really remember her.
That's okay. Just know that when a deceased loved one comes through, it's probably because one, they know about you, number one, and two, they're still guiding you. So I really feel like even though you didn't know your grandmother, she just said she's a lot like me. Okay. So she's helping guide you too. So that's what I'm feeling from her, is just an overwhelming sense of love, and that she's basically holding your hand through all this. Because I feel like you either look like her, or you're very similar in how you're looking right now.
Gosh,
that's what
it's
I'm saying.
I don't even think I remember what she looks like.
And that's okay.
I should look at pictures.
But that's what she's telling me. So I'm only going by what she's telling me. So that's what she's saying.
As you're saying it, I'm just trying to think. I'm like, I can't remember.
But she just said she's a lot like me. She has a lot of balls. I don't know if I can say that on the, but that's what she loves about you, is that she says she's a ball buster. She loves that about you. And because you tell it kind of how it is, but at the same time, you want to make sure you show people your softness too. Okay. So that's just what they're suggesting. Do you have any other questions right now before I don't think so. Okay. And just so you know, what I'm doing is I'll get a number in my head from the angels of when to stop and which card to pull. So that's what's happening right now. So when you see me put down the cards, it's because they've got a number in my head that I'm trying to get to with the cards. Okay. There's a lot of fire and passion inside of you. You're a very creative person, they're saying. So I don't know if you do creative writing or do something with the writing, because I hear write. So I don't know if you think about writing a book, or if you're thinking or compiling information to write a book, or doing a blog or something in that area.
I mean, there's something that I've thought about writing, but it's not anything I've actually really put into play.
So just know that they know about the writing because they're telling me about it. And so that's something that they're nudging you to do, or at least nudging you to look at, to broaden your creativity, because your creativity sometimes is so stifled by the other things going on in your life that you also need to be able to express yourself creatively. Your chakras are really important too, because I feel like because you are such an empath, because you really are, I feel like when you get into crowds or you get around a lot of people, that it overwhelms you. And that's one of the signs of being an empath, is that it can be very overwhelming for long periods of time. So what happens is your chakras, which is your energy centers in your body, can get out of line, and then it can make you sick and those things. So they're saying that it's really important for you to align your chakras, and you can ask Archangel Metatron to help you, and then I can tell you later when we're done with this, because it's a little long. But it's just really important to constantly surround yourself in light and protect yourself from other people's energy, because you take it on. You take on everybody's energy. You're always one people come to. You're always one people talk to about stuff. Like, I feel like your friends call you to talk about their problems and those things with you, because you're so easy to talk to, because you're a healer. You heal people with your words. And that's why I think you're going to be writing this book, because I feel like it's going to be healing in some aspect of what you're going to be writing. They also say that you also, like, I don't know if this is at work or where you're at, but I feel like sometimes people throw daggers at you. I don't know if it's a cattiness going on at work or if there's something like that.
Do you think it's just work, or
I think in life? I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think I feel like it gets daggered. And I feel people like to do this to you a lot. Like, I feel like it's almost like zingers. Like, I feel like it's either criticism or something happens, or just maybe life choices or whatever it is. But I feel like it's almost like throwing a spear. That's the only way that's the image that I'm getting. And so
there's certainly people in my life that I feel as if they throw little digs.
Okay.
And maybe they don't mean to,
right.
But I'm not saying don't do it back.
But I just want you to be that they're obviously bringing it up for a reason. And so I think it's because what happens is that you don't always stand up for yourself, or you don't always speak your truth about when it happens.
Okay.
And so what happens is, so I don't know if you have issues with your throat, or you get a lot of throat infections, or you get something with your thyroid, or because what happens is when we stop speaking our truth, our throat chakra will close. Okay. And it will close big time. And so what happens is we'll start getting sick. We'll get laryngitis. We'll get strep. Anything related to the throat, because you're not speaking your truth. Okay. So when those digs are flying out at you, you might react, but it's not speaking your truth about how it makes you feel.
Okay.
So they want you to start speaking your truth and standing up for your belief on how it makes you feel.
Okay.
And the more you do that, the more you're gonna be able to do it in all areas of your life, because it's really important that you do that. So I feel like people sometimes will walk on you and kind of take advantage of you.
Well, I mean, you went back to the men in my life in the past. I mean, that's,
and it's not just men. I think it's in general,
some of my family.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. So I understand. Okay. And sometimes the reason that you are afraid to make changes is because there's a fear of lack, or a fear of not having enough, or if you're not making enough money.
Yeah.
And so they really want you to be aware of your thoughts and the negative thought process that comes to you. It's really, really important that you speak only in positive affirmations about what your life goals are.
Okay.
And that when you're passionate about something, the money is going to follow you. Okay. And what happens is, I think you've worked for other people for so long, because I feel like you do a lot for other people that you work for. Basically, they make the money and you do the work. I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but that's what they're showing me happens. Okay. They want you to really know your worth, and that without your talent or what you do, they would not be where they are. So the angels want you to really understand your value and what you're worth, because you can step out and you can make the money that you want. Mm-hmm. But you have to let go of the fear, because you are good at what you do. Okay. And you need to own that and not be afraid to go out there and see what else is out there. Because I feel like sometimes you're not appreciated either. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that go on in my head for sure. But I really do enjoy my job, and I really like the people I work with. So I feel like it's a happy fit, but nothing's perfect.
Nothing is. But they also talk about self-employment. So I don't know if you thought about working for yourself, or you've thought about doing something on your own, maybe on the side. Okay. But there's talking about you've had an idea of starting some kind of business or going to work for yourself. Okay. They want you to know that idea is valid, because they're putting it in your head, that it's important for you to do. And again, I think it's something to do with creative. I feel it's something to do with fashion and or jewelry. So I don't know if you're thinking about making jewelry or doing something fashion.
I don't know. I mean, so other people that I've done this with have all told me starting a business or an idea, same thing you're saying. So you're probably one of like 4 now to say the same thing. And I've thought about having businesses, but I actually I'm not even sure what I would do. I don't know. It's there somewhere. It's just like I haven't figured it out myself. But everybody keeps telling me that it's there.
So when you get a nudge more than 3 times by whoever's doing it, whether it's me or other people, that's your angels and guides pushing you towards that path. Okay. And so if you're hearing it more than 3 times, know that that's something you're supposed to be doing.
I just don't know what it is.
And so then that's what I tell people, is that your angels cannot help you unless you ask them. because of free will. So start asking your angels, okay, what path am I supposed to be on? Where am I supposed to go? What business am I supposed to start? Please show me. And then step back and watch for the way they communicate. And the way they communicate is through synchronicity. So you might see feathers. Feathers is a sign that you're on the right path of where you're supposed to go. You might start seeing numbers on license plates. You might start seeing images on license plates. The way angels communicate is through synchronicity and signs. Okay. And so that's what they're showing me for you, is that they're trying to communicate with you. And because of your experiences when you were young, you've blocked it out. You've kind of blocked it all out because it was scary. You know,
scary experience when I was young. I don't remember any scary experience.
I'm just telling you what they're telling me. So they're saying,
well, you say that because I've had other people say what happened to you when you were a kid, and I've asked my parents, and they say nothing. You had a great childhood. Like nobody can tell me, but this keeps coming up as if something traumatic happened, or I just
don't think it's traumatic.
Or something that like.
What I'm being told is that you would see things. So whether it's your grandmother who's deceased, you know, you would see things, and what would happen is it would scare you, and so then you would shut it off, because that's what we do. I did the same thing. I would see faces on my walls, and it scared me, and I shut it down. So, you know, they're just saying that to reopen your spiritual gifts, really your intuition, your intuitive gifts, is to really take the time out to sit in meditation, go in nature, sit outside and be with yourself to figure out what it is you want. Because I feel like you've always been what someone else wanted you to be. Or like in relationships, you've always taken on what they've wanted or what they've done. And so you haven't really know who you are or what you want. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But they're really stressing that you take the time out to find out. Because they're leading you towards a path that could be the greatest thing ever. It's just you have to be open to hearing it and receiving it. So that's what they're showing for me. They show me that you're going to have a family. Okay. So again, I do see you getting married. I do see you having kids, 2. That's what they're showing me right now. And I feel like children are important to you. I don't know why I'm feeling like that, but I feel like this is something you wanted to do.
It's funny that you say that, because I didn't think I want children, but I would say it's mainly because I haven't found that person to share it with. Like I don't have a desire to do it alone. So it's just not in my mind. And that's what they're showing me, is that you're going to have a happy family life. I see you married, and I see you with 2 kids. Okay. And they could be close together. So it could be twins. They say the age is very close together. And then I also see you. I am a twin.
Oh, you are a twin. Okay, well then that would make sense, because it can be hereditary. So financial security, I also see. So I see your finances are in good order. You're going to get abundance, but it's keeping your vibrational level high and keeping your thoughts as high as possible. I also see you finding magic in the little things. So because you're so wound up all the time, sometimes, and because you're so hard on yourself, sometimes you don't get to see the beauty in some things sometimes. So I just want you to take some time out and get happy with the little things. And spend some time with yourself. They're really talking about you going outside. They really want you to spend more time in nature, whether it's by the water especially, and by the beach. Because it regrounds you. It's almost like the water, whether you're taking a bath or a shower or being near the water or the beach, there's something about it that just regrounds you. And that's what they're wanting you to do more of, especially when you're at home. So I don't know if you live with someone or if you share in a house or an apartment with someone.
I live with my sister.
I feel sometimes the energy gets tense. I'll use that word, kind of tense.
That's fair to say.
Because she also has intuitive gifts and is also an empath. So what happens, especially in families, is that you guys are feeling each other's emotions, and it comes out sideways. It kind of comes out sideways, passive aggressively, sarcastically, digs, whatever it is. So it's really important, 1, that you guys communicate, and 2, that you recharge yourself. Because again, living with family members is difficult sometimes, especially when you each have spiritual gifts and the energy is so like tense. So the bath is going to be really important for you. Because again, I feel like you take on her energy. I feel you take it on, you take it on, you take it on, you take it on. And it's not a bad thing. That's what happens, with sisters and family.
I feel it too.
But you have to be able to release it. And just shield yourself from it, because she's responsible for her feelings, you're responsible for yours, and it's got to get clear. So that's what they're showing me. And also they're showing me also that your relationship's going to strengthen. You and your sister's relationship is going to strengthen over time. And again, I feel like it's you guys are kind of moving into a new phase and you're getting older. And I feel like once you have a family and kids and all these things, I think it's going to even be closer, even more so. So that's what I feel is going to happen. They obviously want you to have that card, so we're going to pull that one out. When cards jump out, it means that 1, you're supposed to have it, and 2, that they obviously really want to tell you something. So that's what just happened now, is a card just jumped out. So the card is the 7 of air, and it's interesting that you've gotten 2 cards with the number 7 on it. 7, 1 represents abundance, it does, and 2, it also represents our chakras. So they're really, really talking to you about your chakras, because I really feel like you're very closed. Meaning that you've taken on so much energy over the years that you're just kind of blocked. So I don't have time today, but after we get off, we'll handle that together. Okay. But they're talking about getting off the merry-go-round. Okay. And I think it really not only has to do with your relationships, but also with your family members. Just stepping off the merry-go-round and just because what happens is when it gets combative or when it gets argumentative, it's one of the person wants to be right. You know, instead of being happy. And so sometimes you just have to step off the merry-go-round and be like, okay, and just go in a different direction and then come back and revisit it later. The easiest thing that I've learned to communicate with is okay. Because okay, there's nothing to argue or fight about, because then it's just okay. It's neutral, you know, and then everybody's happy. But they're saying you got to get off the merry-go-round. And once you guys get off the merry-go-round, whether it's your relationship with your sister, or relationship with your future husband, or it makes it easier, and you can walk in a straighter path. But again, they're also talking about the merry-go-round of relationships. You got to get off whoever is still in the back of your mind. You got to get off the merry-go-round because it's blocking.
So that person's still in my mind. Like they're not meant to be there.
They're not meant to be there anymore. No, they serve its purpose, because all relationships serve a purpose. All our past, everything in our past serves a purpose to bring us to our future and bring us to lessons. And so it serves its purpose. And really, I think the purpose, what they're telling me for you is, 1, to not get into another relationship that's mentally abusive. So I feel like you've been in mentally abusive relationships a lot. And someone who's not narcissistic. Because you have a tendency to, and that's what empaths do. Empaths will have a tendency to be attracted to narcissistic personality disorders because we think we can fix them. Because when we're doing all the emotions, they're not having to do anything. So in the beginning, they're very nice and very sweet and are very attentive. But as a relationship goes on, they start to show their true colors. And that's what it's like. Okay. So that's what they're trying to avoid for you. So you got to just step off.
Do you answer any questions like, will I ever talk to that person again? Because I haven't talked to them in a while now.
I don't think it's about talking to the person. I just heard
no. Or communicate.
I don't think you're going to communicate, but the fact that I feel like either he visits you in your dreams or something happens in the dreams. Okay. So because the energy is still attached, they'll end up in your dreams. And you could not think about this person. You cannot see this person for 10 years, but because you have not cut the cords of the energy around it, they'll still show up. They'll still show up in your dreams. They'll still show up in your thoughts. Somehow it'll just happen. But it's really just clearing it out. And once you've cleared it out for good, or you've asked the angels to remove the energy away from you, I promise it will change everything.
I guess I just always think that maybe this person is supposed to be there, and I don't want to give up on it, but
No.
So I battled between that.
Right.
Like rationally, okay, it's run its course, and then the emotional of like, but I don't want to give up on that person or friendship that could be, or anything. So.
And for you, because again, I keep using the word empath, and because you're so sensitive, you're so extra sensitive, which is a strength. It is not a weakness. A lot of people think being extra sensitive, either they were told it was a weakness, or they were told they were bad, or they were told they were wrong, but it's not. You're able to sense who and what people are about. And so that's a strength. And, this person served its purpose, and it's time to let go. Because no good comes from being in the past. No good. So that's what they're showing me now. And finding the magic in the little things again. That's what they want you to do. So they want you to have more fun, basically, is what they're saying. Okay. I love this card, and I'm so glad that Archangel Metatron made an appearance. Archangel Metatron, 1, is the archangel of helping us clear out our chakras. So there's no mistake of why he's showing up today. 2, he's also helps us manifest our dreams. Manifest our dreams into reality. He also works with kids and teenagers to help them with their spiritual gifts. So there's obviously a reason why he's here. You're changing. You're like this little caterpillar in a cocoon right now. But over the next few months, after this reading, something's going to awaken. You're going to start seeing the signs. You're going to start seeing the synchronicity, and then you're going to awaken even more. So you're going to blossom into this huge butterfly. You're going to be able to see people behind the masks. I feel like people wear a lot of masks around you. And I feel like you can really kind of tell how they are in the beginning. But again, you always think it's you. You always think it's something wrong with you, or you're prejudging someone, or you're not giving them the benefit of the doubt, or it's I'm being mean,
like you
or
just
whatever
need
it
to
is.
take the time to get to know them.
And that's not that for an empath. That's not the truth. The instant you meet someone, you're going to know.
Okay.
If it's a good energy, it's good. If it's a bad energy, it is bad. So just keep aware of that.
Okay.
And give and dream. They want you to dream. I feel like they talk about second chances with you. So in this relationship or in your past relationships, I don't know if you thought you were going to be getting married or something like that, but they're saying that this is a whole new chapter for you. And two, it's really important to remember that it's not too late. So Michael is archangel of life purpose.
Okay.
The archangel of finding your courage, and the archangel of keeping you safe and protecting you. And so he wants you to remember who you are. Don't forget about who you are, and know that you are loved, and know that no matter what, you're safe. Okay. And so as you start going through your journey, because I really feel like things are going to change for you, know that you're safe. And he's also the one you're going to call in to help cut your cords. So when you start feeling that anxiousness of either thinking about that person or whatever, you might have to do it a couple of times, because there's this energy between you guys that's very still strong. So you might have to do it a couple of times.
With me and that person?
Yes, with you and that person.
Does that person feel that energy?
I'm sure they do in their own way, but everybody's different.
Yeah.
But it's really important that it gets broken, and he's the one that helps with that. He also is he's also the one that he wants you to call upon when you want to shield yourself from energy. And we're going to talk empath. I know I keep using that word because that's what you are. It's really important that you shield yourself every day. And you can ask him to come in and just surround you in white light and just shield you from other people's energy. And it's almost like taking medicine. You have to do it every day.
Okay.
For you to feel better. And once you start doing it, you're going to feel the difference. I promise.
Okay.
So I hope this helped you in whatever way it did.
Do the angels send you messages about family members, like my sister, my twin sister? Is she?
They don't do it like that. Like when I read for someone,
the person has to be there.
Typically I only read one at a time, because there's a lot of energy that gets passed around, and I want to be able to focus on your energy. She obviously ended up in your reading today because you had a general reading, and it's really interesting because you guys are twins. Yeah. You guys carry the same emotional energy, and that because you both have spiritual gifts, because twins are very connected, that you guys are very connected in that way. Okay. So know that her being brought up in the session was not by mistake. Okay. Okay. So even if you didn't ask the question about her, she obviously ended up in your reading. So they wanted to talk about it. Okay. Everything I get, all the message I get, is basically to move you closer to, again, the guidance, the love, the peace, and joy in your life. So whatever they're saying to me, it's meant for you, and what you get from it is really up to you. Okay.
So do they tell you that I should sign up for Match.com or something?
I don't tell people what to do, but what I do tell is that, if that's something you want to do, ask them. Angels, can you give me a sign that I should sign up for Match.com? Okay. And you're going to hear yes, you're going to hear no. You can ask to leave me a sign of, whatever sign you attach to it, a starfish or whatever it is. And when you start seeing that, that'll be your answer that yes, you're supposed to do that. Okay. But they definitely want you to put yourself out there. You can't really find your soulmate if you're hiding in your apartment or you're hiding. And so they really want you to step out and basically really shine and show the world who you truly, truly are. Okay. And not be afraid of that. Okay. So I hope.
I have to say that I know Jamie. I worked with Jamie for 4 years now. We work together. Yeah. And I could say that I think the reading was very accurate in terms of the person I know as being Jamie. So Jamie, how do you feel about the accuracy of Kim's reading?
I think that she absolutely touched on really a lot of things about me. I think that in my mind, the wheels are spinning as she's saying things, and it was pretty accurate and based on other times I've had people, although these are different kinds of cards, but other people that are intuitives as well. Right. they've all said the same things as well. So it makes it kind of hard not to believe it. But, you know, this isn't my business. I'm open-minded, and I'm willing to learn whatever I can from anything to really just find peace in life. And I think really that's a big part of this. It's not coming to you necessarily saying, can you look in the crystal ball? Right. It's kind of a spiritual guide, right? Is that a good way to put it?
That's an excellent way to put it. I love how you put that, actually, because that's exactly what they do. They give guidance. They're not going to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. They're not going to tell you 6 years from now what could happen. It's really just to move you forward in your life. Yeah. And what happens is when I give readings to people, it actually opens them up and awakens. It's really about being aware and looking for the signs. And when you start seeing the signs, and when you start being in awareness, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what they're trying to tell me, or oh my gosh, I see it now. That's really what it's about. It's about the awakening is really what it's all about.
So I think that she was with a lot of things, I would say, as describing me. Yeah, anyhow.
And to receive whatever information you had. When people are so closed, like really, really closed, they won't hear the information, or they won't take it in. But you were so open about it that's really what made the difference. Yeah. You know, I just give the information, but it's really the other person that really makes the difference in the reading of being open to it.
I think some people get scared thinking that it's going to be negative things, and you know, that's not what you do. So there's nothing to be scared of. It's just something that it can just help you feel peaceful in your life and just relax you a little bit, I guess. You know, so like you told me, I have to ask for help with the negative energy around me, and the wheels are spinning of, well, how exactly do you do that? Which, you'll tell me about. Yeah. So it's a little overwhelming, but I think there's truth to it. So,
share, and this is Kimberly Galloway Gordon's pamphlets you put together. So Kimberly Galloway Gordon, she is a certified angel card reader, intuitive medium, advanced Reiki practitioner, and spiritual advisor. And what I also want to close and share with is her mission. I feel it's a very good mission to provide spiritual guidance for your personal journey on discovering your soul's purpose, so you can embrace your spiritual gifts by nurturing spirit and empowering wisdom within yourself. So, Kim, in closing, do you want to tell people how they can get a hold of you and find you?
Yes. My business is called Soul's Compass, LLC, and I'm so proud of it because, I really truly believe our soul's on a journey, and that sometimes our journey gets a little muddy and sometimes we lose direction. And so I really want to help facilitate for people to get their direction back and to find their soul's purpose. And everybody has one. And so the way you can get a hold of me if you're interested in a reading is my phone number is 561-531-4214, or you can email me at soulscompass@yahoo.com. And I look forward to hearing from you.
And I will just display this right here. It's Soul's Compass, and then that's the email address for Kim. So Kim, really quick, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.